you never improve during the normal season. The pit stop is the moment of the coach. So it's important to understand that every moment you stop, every time you stop, stop means progress. Stop means progress. You improve the quality of your team during the pit stop. So the role of the coach is to intensify the frequency of the pit stop, intensify the quality of the pit stop. It's there that you will make it happen. Your role as a coach will be key during those pit stops. If the team decides for 4, 5, 6 pit stops a year, they should ask you also to contribute to the pit stops. Up to you to say, sometimes when there is a 1-day pit stop, I don't contribute to the full day. I come there for 2 hours, 1 block, sometimes for half a day. Today you join us for 2 hours. In 2 hours you can be efficient and already stimulate some inspiration and some practice. And step by step you will quickly receive more and more time. It should be an habit for the client to ask to the coach to join as much as possible. Every time it could be useful. So this is for the strategy of the pit stop. Every stop means a moment of improvement. That was for me a big discovery when I was coaching top teams, sports teams, that my players don't improve on the field during the game. During the game they give their best. After the game, the debrief, the feedback, that's the moment of improvement. They don't improve when they play, they improve after the game. And that's the role of the coach. How do we debrief? Individual debrief, collective debrief, sub-team debrief. So you understand the concept of debrief per line, which is the sub-team debrief. Is sometimes it's not always obvious for all the clients. When your team has a failure, that's top. Don't be afraid to fail. Because if you fail forward, automatically you become better. And that's the key concept here. When you close the book, you should constantly analyze what we call the top and the flops. Top flops. That's a simple, healthy exercise at the end of every game, at the end of every quarter, at the end of every project. There should be a top flop exercise. Top flop exercise, I show you concretely to make it tangible. Where can I find some top flop? Here I can show you a top flop exercise. Okay, that was finished 2016, 1 year ago. Probably in 2017, November, December, that's the moment of the closing. You should all have a lot of closing. I know that from now till end of December, I will have 7 or 8 closing with 7 or 8 different teams that I coach. And probably in January or February, I will contribute to the kickoff of 7 or 8 teams. This is the closing moment. They need a coach. If they don't have a coach, they will not grow, they will not learn anything. There will be no reverse feedback to the coach, no sublines debrief, no feedback to the players. They will just jump at the end of the season with a wrap-up by the general manager, and then we start the new season. We should take time. So this is a classic top flop. What went well in 2016, what went well in 2017, and you see a list. Where does the list come from? Please? The members, the players. They define the top and flops. Not always the leader. Stop to be as a leader at the origin of everything. You should let the players propose the tops and propose the flops. But it's a listing. And the listing, you know, I hate listing. Listing is consuming energy. So what's the next step? Voting. Scoring. You have the choice out of the 10 proposals. You have to select maximum 3, always the magic 3, never more than 3. Magic 3. What could be your 3 golden flops, tops? And you select 3, and there 2 votes, 0 votes, 9 votes, 5 votes. Democracy. And from there you can define your magic 3. Golden top, silver top, bronze top. And from there you go and you do the same for the flops. Listing of the flops. And the same, the voting, and there you get the same golden flop, the silver flop and the bronze flop. Celebrate the top, celebrate the flop. Because the flop are key. It's good to celebrate the top, but you will never grow with the top. Top means reinforcement. I told you this morning, recognition means reinforcement. Challenging feedback means development. This is reinforcement. This is good for the ego. This is development. So we have a list of 10 potential flops, golden, silver, bronze. You have to make the marketing of the flops. Stop to hide the flops. The flops is an important moment in human development, team development. We should be proud that we take a risk. Nobody is perfect. Losses can you make stronger. Roger Federer. So don't hide the losses. What will be the next column?
Actions.
Actions. And actions on how many flops? Actions on maximum the top 3. So the action on the golden flop will be the key one. If we have time, we will visit the second one. If we solve the second one, then we will visit the third one. Step by step. Focus. Forget the number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and 10. Focus, focus, focus. And that's the key. It's always a concept of the magic tree. Tree, tree, tree. No more than 3. And from the tree, you start with the first one. Please?
I say 2 batteries, 3 triples, everything is 3.
Everything is 3. It's a tripod. The solidity is about the tripod. But it's the same as the walls. We have the wall of the past, the wall of the present, the wall of the future. Okay? That's it. The magic tree. Focus on the magic tree. And from there, we define some actions. Actions on flops. How many actions? 3. But that's the rule, guys. You should simplify completely. I have here many examples. Huh? This one. Flops, golden flop. Okay, action 1, action 2, action 3. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3.
3 balls.
Yes, but that's it. Stop to make it complex. Simplify. And at the end, we focus on the first one. Focus, focus. If you want to stimulate action, you have to simplify action. Focus. So you see the same concept always. We define action because I know that some of you sometimes you are happy to list potential actions. Don't list. When you make the list, then you need to make the ranking. And when you have the ranking, then you can decide which action will be the most important action. That's the way you improve the teams. Okay? That was in Russia.
I'm sorry?
That's Russian, I think. Yeah?
Say again?
Okay?
Yes.
Top, flop. Those methodologies are universal. The winning culture is universal. We all need feedback to grow. We all need flops to learn. We all need solidarity and empowerment to develop. We all need. Winning culture is universal. It doesn't depend on your passport. You create the sense of urgency. The way you manage your team will create the sense of urgency. If people don't feel that it's the moment, probably you didn't stimulate the sense of urgency. You create that. You as a coach, you influence the leader. The leader influences his team. It's easy to create a movement. You stimulate the movement. You stimulate the change. You are all agents of change. You push people and you stretch the people and then something will happen. So those are simple methodologies to really enter always in the action mode. I have some of you, Alex. This is one of you, I think, no?
No, that's the example.
That's the example? That was mine. Okay. Good. There was a question, Alex?
Yes, so people list the different tops, the different flops, and then you go to the ranking. What is your experience in the number of votes that people can have for the tops? Do you let them vote 1 time? Do you let them vote 2 times?
So I have a list, for example, of 10 tops. They have the right for how many votes? 3. 3 votes. Out of the 10, you select 3. That's it. Simplify. If you remind always 3, it's easy. And you apply that to all the models. You will always have something concrete and something simple. So don't come at the end with a list of actions. You need always to stimulate a ranking in the action. Action, golden action, silver and bronze. Okay, good. Top flops, maybe some feedback from the seniors who did use it many times, maybe something to add or a trick or a tips that you would like to add?
Yes, it is a few things. First of all, the top 3, the focus, people like it. And it can also help for the money time. If they have something very concrete and if they have actions, often it's that what the team wants, to have concrete actions when they go out. So it helps.
Maybe
Something more?
sometimes put an owner and also combine it with a timeline. Owner and timeline.
Yes, I did show some examples that you define an action, but you need also to define an owner who will be in charge to solve this action and for when. Okay?
The good thing is also when they do it 1 year, usually they do it the next years. So my clients ask it, but I'm sorry they ask it in March because our fiscal year ends February. But they do it again every year, so it's a good sales tool.
Okay. So don't be afraid to fail. Top flops is a simple exercise. As long as you fail and you feed forward. The learnings from the flops are useful to improve the quality of the next start, of the next period, of the next quarter. So fail forward and feed forward. The concept of feedback is strange. It should be feed forward, debrief in the future. Also to remind you that if we speak about feedback, feedback is the starter. When you receive feedback, it will inspire you. It's just the starter. Action on feedback is the catalyst. Action on feedback will make you grow, not feedback. This is the catalyst. Receiving feedback will just help give you an information. Acting on feedback will make the transformation. Feedback is the start, the info. Thank you to tell me. Action on feedback is a transformation process. There you will learn. So your role is not to give feedback. Your role is to stimulate action on feedback. And sometimes we limit to the information. You should go one step further. Action on feedback. It's there that you will evaluate your feedback. Because they really put it into action. It's not just giving inspiration. It's what did they put into action. Okay. Something more from the dinosaurs? No?
I work a lot on workshops, as you know. And if you have there a list of all the topics, it's a good energizer when people come in front and really put a cross next to, or a line next to the 3 priorities. It let them move themselves, they see the evolution. It's a good energizer too.
And sometimes I also gave the stickers.
Yeah,
That
that's also
they
possible.
go and they put the
Yeah,
sticker.
yeah, that's also
Because as I worked with Alan at the sessions, we organized some groups and we mixed a lot of departments to join them also together. Because, for example, purchasing, also stores, financial department, they need to work together. We created the group, which were mixed, so it helps to communicate between them. After that, they also put the actions, and after that, all the people again, they made the round, and everybody sticks. So it was like finally we received top of flop of 5 groups, and again from the 5 groups we again made again the prioritize. So it was prioritize of prioritize.
Thank you. Some additional tips and comments? So I can finalize the concept that the winning culture is universal. when Yao Ming is playing with China, when he's playing for the Houston Rockets, when Roger Federer is playing Michael Jordan, it's always about the same topics. It's all about trust, it's all about focus, it's all about commitment, it's all about open mind for learning, open mind, it's all about teamwork. Those are the classic 5 values of winning culture. We need focus, we need trust, we need engagement, we need teamwork, we need open mind. That's it. So from there we can build something. Trust is about sometimes confidence, self-confidence. Trust my partner, but also trust myself. Focus, it's about rigor, discipline. Commitment is about persistence. Open mind for feedback. And teamwork for solidarity. In the final of the Olympic Games, when it's China against Germany, China against the United States, Russia against Czech Republic for ice hockey, it's the same winning culture. It will be a question of engagement, commitment, feedback, and solidarity everywhere. The winning culture is universal. Don't consider that there are cultural dimensions, but not in the winning culture. When you come and you work for Auchan, you work for Mentally Fit, you should accept the rules of the game. The name of the game is teamwork, commitment, focus, feedback, and open mind. That's it, everywhere. And that you are Chinese, Vietnamese, or Russian, it's applicable everywhere. We all need feedback to grow. We all need solidarity and glue to work to efficient. We need to wet the shirt to make it happen. It's universal. We can discuss other cultural topics, but this is universal. So this is not negotiable. Effort is not negotiable. Winning culture is not negotiable. That's part of the deal. And so what Auchan expects from us, what the client expects from us is that we will make it happen that in every country the winning culture is accepted, that the culture of feedback becomes natural, that solidarity becomes natural, that focus and trust becomes natural. That's what the client is expecting. So we need to focus on those elements and stop to say, yes, but in my region it will not be applicable. Okay? They don't pay us for this. They all pay us to bounce higher. That's the key issue. And if some people in your organization tell it will not be applicable because of, you have to counterattack and say, Auchan, the client, say that today we need to implement a common language and a common winning culture. And the common language and the common winning culture have the same ingredients. Up to you to make it happen. What did happen? No? Okay. Good. What else could I share with you? Because I don't want to give you too much additional info. Maybe one nice exercise that could be inspiring for your clients and funny. It's again the power of metaphor. How to make it visible and tangible. When you are coaching somebody, maybe we can make the exercise all together. Okay, you come with me? We go over there. Let's go. The yellow box.
On va juste montrer les clés sur la table.
Okay. For the most of you, you know my passion. I have a collection, a super collection of Smurf.
Yes!
Okay, I have more than 1,000 Smurfs. So this, please, you choose.
The one who represents.
You choose 2 Smurfs. One,
No, we'll make it different. Hey, stop. When you make that exercise, and I will offer you Smurf.
Wow!
For the internationals who you will have some difficulties to find Smurf, you can take 15, 20 Smurf, so you can also make the exercise. But we will also give you the address where you can find Smurf. Okay? So the Smurf. Simple, stupid exercise to materialize a feeling, a mindset. So when you will make that exercise, I recommend that you ask to the people, you select 2 Smurf. By example, we are today in November. Which Smurf represent you today at the end of the season? When we finish 2017, I feel like the policeman, by example. And then you ask them to select a second Smurf that represents the mindset that could be the mindset of 2018, next year. So how do I feel today, at the end of this championship? How can I feel tomorrow, when we start the new season? I feel next year I would like to win the gold medal. So that's the way I animate. Sorry, stop, quiet. The ladies are quite excited. So the way you will animate, but here it's the first Smurf, I have other tools. You should ask them, how do you feel today? But at the end of the money time, if we win, how will you feel, or how would you like to feel next year? That's your creativity. In this case, I would like that you choose just a Smurf. How do you feel at the end of these 2 days? We did spend 2 days together. How do you feel at the end of the 2 days? You select a Smurf that represents you. Please make your choice. One Smurf. One that represents you, and the other one you can let here.
Yeah, but you said 2.
No, I said one. Fais les photos? Les photos. Attends, je vais chercher mon appareil.
Ready to play the game.
Burn out.
Ça c'est Laurent, hein?
Ça c'est joli.
Ok?
En fait, c'est ça qui m'a fait peur.
Je me notais quand j'étais tout seul.
C'est ton Smurf, c'est?
Yes.
Ok. Smurfit. En anglais, c'est Smurfit. Okay, ready?
Can you make some room? Why would I don't feel injured? Where's my black Smurf? I'm African.
А что ты ставишь смурфика, не выбираешь? Просто с этим, что
I have a black Smurf.
Okay. So you can stay here, please. I would like maybe could be good to have a short explanation. This is train the trainers. This kind of exercise, you can really spend time in the selection and then all the individual explanation. I will explain you what do you do with the 2 Smurf. But that will explain that later on. Maybe interesting for me, for us to understand better, why did you choose this Smurf? How this Smurf represent your actual mindset, your mood. So you may start.
Yeah.
Show us why did you choose?
Yeah, I chose this
Why?
because I feel very active at the moment, yeah, and I'm ready to go to some big campaign.
Okay.
Yeah.
Energizing Smurf. Thank you.
Yeah.
Who wants to present his Smurf? Yes, Andrea, what did you choose?
I don't know how you call it.
We call that an athlete.
An athlete, yeah. So, for especially for Romania, that's kind of new beginning. Now we have in-house new deals. We have new material. We felt quite empowered, so we closed the book and we are ready.
Thank
for
you.
one.
Excellent. Steffi, what did you choose?
I chose the ghost.
Oh.
Because I am a Smurf, well mentally fit, we all Smurfs, but I will not be visible in Auchan because I'm not part of the team, but I'm still part of the team.
I thought that is because we are coming from home.
Excellent.
Wow.
Thank you. Vito, what is your choice?
This because I have the tools and I'm ready to play with the tools. And,
Okay, representing tools and ready to play with the tools. Thank you. Excellent. Anatoly.
Я выбрал этого смурфика, потому что он чем-то похож на меня. Он тоже бородат.
Looking, he took this one because it also has a beard, so he felt directly self-identified. Okay, and this is Scottish, and he means the Russian and Scottish culture both are tough, so he was feeling self-identified with this.
Okay.
And it is the tough Smurf.
Thank you. Cyril, what is your choice?
I took the diver because I came to get into a new field for Auchan, and now I'm ready to get into this mission with powerful feet. It's important, and oxygen, vision, and ability to go up and go down and be easy in the movement.
Okay. Thank you. Hoya.
Oh, I choose a girl to the football. It's the first time I come to there, so I never play football, so I'm just a player.
Okay. Thank you. Luc, which choice?
I'm conquering South Africa, and I'm finally getting the fruits from all the seeds I put for 2 years. And now I have the fruits and ready to conquer further.
Oh, and it took 2 years to have fruit.
Because I was pulling on the seeds. On the grass.
Okay, Viviane.
I haven't taken one, but
Thank you.
I take one.
Okay.
Because when I look to the old team, I feel like this, yes, we can win the golden medal with this team and have a successful Auchan coaching. So that's the feeling I have today.
Thank you. Georges.
I took this one because I said
Guitar.
Guitar, yes. Because I said to create a good melody, a performance for the different customers, we not just need one string, but all the strings are around the table.
Okay. But that is the name of the guitar. There's a guitar solo. That's for egocentrics. How you know? Okay, Owen.
I have the color palette and the brush in the hand, so I feel like much more empowered, and I can, like, everything is in the hand and it's about me to paint the picture.
Thank you, Picasso.
Thank you, Picasso.
Okay, Nathalie.
I'm not a part of it.
Yes, you're part of the team, Nathalie. Come on.
You have the
You
input
see,
there.
the back office is on the bench. I need the back office, front office, all players are on the field. So what is your choice?
This one.
This one?
Yeah, this one.
Why?
Hello, I'm here, I can help you.
Okay, Natalia.
So I've chosen this one, so it means that with all the information that I received, I'm already ready for action. And moreover, if you will see, it's move. So I'm ready also to make some movements to be adapted.
Okay, from rigidity to agility.
Exactly.
Okay, Marc.
I've taken this one
Oh.
to prepare magic potion.
Magic potion.
To positively contaminate all the clients.
Okay, Alexander.
I have the one next to Mark, so the guy taking all the hay from the fields.
Are you just collecting the money or what?
No, is it the money? No. Yeah. So he comes from the field.
Harvest.
It's the first harvest, and the first harvest is looking good. Now there's plenty more to do before the rain falls. So we must hurry up to pick it up in time and to have a successful
Okay.
harvest.
I hope it will be rain and not storm. For Auchan it's better. Alexander.
Okay, I selected this one as newcomer to this world, so all life is ahead, and we'll see there are a lot of things to learn, and we'll see who will grow up from this small baby girl.
Okay, thank you. Doina.
Action. It's like I learned so many things, and I found a lot of values during these 2 days, and I'm ready to get to action and also to share my experience from here and to continue supporting, be part of Romania. Yeah, ready to action.
Call
No,
for
that's follow-up work with the clients. Come on.
That's call for action. Okay.
Action.
Thank you.
What do you have in your
Anna.
hand?
Anna.
I swear I didn't know what chose Alexander, but I was choosing Lady Smurf with a baby in hands because the business in Russia it's just at the moment small, and my team is very young, so this is how I'm feeling today, to do all what is possible to protect it and to let it grow.
Thank you. Sergey?
Выбрал такого смурфика, потому что я из Беларуси, а в Беларуси спортивная нация, и это олицетворяет нацеленность на победу, на результат.
He took this sporty smooth, which is standing in the pose, which is lancing the hand ahead, because he is coming from Belarus. Belarus is a sport.